you with the title of my speech beforehand, so I'll share that now. It's called The Right Side of Rock Bottom. So, all right, thank you all for joining me for my first speech here at Toastmasters. Although this is the inaugural prepared icebreaker speech, I actually wanted to join Toastmasters to work on my impromptu skills. So hopefully you'll see me back up here working on those table topics. Maybe not today because I might be frazzled, but definitely please encourage me to work on that when we can. But first I will introduce myself. So my name is Regina Story, and I graduated from UC Davis with a degree in civil engineering, and I now work for the San Joaquin River Restoration Program with the Bureau of Reclamation. So those are two things that I'm fairly proud of, but they're successes that I wouldn't have today if it weren't for first hitting rock bottom at a very young age. But I don't mean rock bottom in the doom and gloom sense that it's often associated with. So I have a story to share with you on that. When I was in second grade, I learned the basics, how to share, do simple math, improve my reading skills, and I also expanded my vocabulary, and not just with words from class. Despite the efforts of my teachers and my parents to shelter me from bad words, I still managed to adopt a few of them. So I remember it was second grade, it was the last week of classes, and I assumed that I would finish the year in good standing, but I was wrong. In the last week of classes, I somehow managed to get myself sent to the principal's office. It was that last week, so I remember that day started out, I was super excited, I was about to be in third grade, right? So I was in the back of the classroom with my friend, and we started joking with one another, and then pretty soon it grew into, playful banter with words that we knew we shouldn't have been using. So while we were in the back of the class giggling and our eyes getting really big and excited, we were unaware that a fellow classmate, or maybe I should say tattletale, informed the teacher of our choice words. And so that's when we were sent to the principal's office. And I remember I was terrified. I had never been sent to the principal's office before, so I remember that walk was from classroom 12 all the way up to the principal's office, and I knew just moments ago I could have avoided this whole situation. I remember looking down at my red shoes. I totally remember what I was wearing that day, and I remember my shoes felt way heavier then than they did when I woke up that morning. So although I'm not proud of what I did, I definitely don't regret that it happened, because without the events of that day, I wouldn't have been enlightened with my dad's advice when I got home. After I overcame the initial fear of confronting my parents about what happened, I also had to call them from the principal's office. My dad took me to the backyard, and he wanted to ask me more about school, so I explained what happened. And the words and actions that followed from my dad have become one of the most profound lessons of my life. I actually wrote about it in my college admissions essay. He knelt down beside the pool, and he picked up a rock, brought one. I wanted to give you the whole demonstration, but it's kind of hard to bring a pool into. He picked up a rock, he knelt down, and he gently tossed it into the pool. And he told me to look at the ripples. So I did. I watched as concentric circles expanded on the water surface, and the rock sat there motionless at the bottom of the pool. And he told me that that rock represented my actions. So that demonstrated that every decision I make has a ripple effect. And as a second grader, I was pretty proud that I was able to recognize that lesson. So since then, there haven't been many decisions or actions I've made in life without I first considering the repercussions. I think that it's probably one of the reasons why I ended up with a career in water resources, because I was just thinking about water that much. But I definitely am thankful for when I look back on that shameful walk to the principal's office, and glad that I was able to get that lesson from my dad and land on the right side of rock bottom.
Very good.